So last month I made a video about potentially moving up a weight class, and that was a sponsored video by VitaGoods and their digital body analyzer. And I wanted to revisit that topic of bulking because number one, VitaGoods wanted to sponsor another video, and number two, since it's been about a month, I can give you guys some feedback based off how the bulk has gone. So first of all, if you're not familiar with VitaGoods and their scale, it's the digital body analyzer. I've showed it on this channel multiple times. You've seen it on a lot of other people's channels, and it's really a great scale because I've continued to use it over the past 2 years or so. Not only does it track your own weight, you can put in multiple users to track different things like your height, your weight, your bone density, your muscle mass, all sorts of other things just to give you some more insight into how your weight is progressing. And plus it looks all right. And if you're interested in getting one, you can get one now for $50, which is like 60% off. And I'll throw that link in the description box below. And like I said, I really do like it. And that's one of the reasons I continue to promote them. Now, as far as my bulk goes, like I said, it's been about a month. And for the most part, it had been going pretty good. And I said had been because if you watched my last video, I gave you guys an update that my wife and I, the Beyonce, or Amanda, for those of you that actually know me or her, we actually had a son last week. So it's been a week since my son was born. And in the past week, I've lost probably about 7 to 8 pounds, and I've kept it off consistently. It's just a whole new ball game that I'm getting used to and a new wrinkle in my life that I'm really excited for. But at the same time, all my sense of normalcy has gone out the window with my eating, my training, and other things, as that's taking a far back seat to the priority, which is that little guy who hopefully will start training with me soon and will probably surpass me in strength, as many of you guys have pointed out in that last video. But prior to that, my bulk was going okay, and it's been interesting because in the previous video, I mentioned one of the things that I always struggled with was putting on weight too quickly or cutting weight too fast where it affects strength. And I really said I wanted to kind of be good about it and just go slow and steady, and I was doing a really good job of that. So if you check out here my actual weight tracking that I have been keeping, you can see that it was progressing nicely. There were some peaks and some valleys, but on average, it was consistently going up, and I'd gained a couple of pounds, which is great because even though I was gaining weight, I didn't feel fat and bloated like I normally do when I go on a full-on bulk and just eat like shit and gain a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. So it was going very good. The funny thing about it is on this occasion, one of the things that I had the most trouble with was getting enough carbs in during the course of the day. And this is something that, a lot of times a couple of years ago, people were always afraid of carbs because there was this connotation that carbs made you fat, which is not true. Just an excess of calories does. But in the past, I never really had a problem eating carbs. But for this particular weight gain cycle that I was on, I hit my protein numbers no problem. I typically went over on my fat, but I just really had a hard time getting in a good amount of carbs per day. And my carbs weren't even that high for a lot of you guys out there. So on average, I was trying to hit in about 350 grams of carbs, and I was hitting more toward the upper 200s, where I know some of you young bucks out there taking 500, 600 even on your cuts. And for me, it was just a struggle. So it was very interesting to see, and I really need to plan things out better. And I'm hoping that once I get some sense of schedule back in my life, I can get back to it and get back to building. Because as I said, I'm weighing around 227 now, down from about an average of 232. So that 5 pounds that I worked so hard to get in a slow fashion quickly went out the window in like literally a week. So I guess that's one of the downside of doing things slow and steady, because if you just have even a couple of days of being in an extreme deficit or an extreme surplus, it really kind of throws all your hard work out the window. But again, that's where longevity really comes into play. And the longer you do things, the more consistent you are, the more that becomes the norm. So there's my update. If you guys are interested in that scale, like I said, check it out. It's in the description box below. I'm going to try to upload videos when I can, but again, I really don't know what my schedule is going to be like. So I appreciate all the kind words, the support, and you watching this bald guy lift weights in his basement. Till next time, we'll talk to you next video.